Kindergarten, lately we have been learning about being avid nonfiction readers. So I pulled out some of my very own nonfiction books. Remember, nonfiction books teach me about a topic. So this nonfiction book will teach me about trains. This one we've been reading together. This nonfiction book will teach me about honeybees. This nonfiction book will teach me about icebergs. And I bet you guys didn't even know this, but during our space unit, we were reading nonfiction books the entire time. So I'm gonna pick my most favorite nonfiction book that I have at my home, and I want you to do the same. It could be on Epic, Raz Kids, or a real book. So I'm gonna pick my favorite book that I've been reading about icebergs. And today, we are going to be having a book club. Does anybody know what a book club is? Well, here's a picture of some adults having a book club. You can tell they all are holding the same book. It looks like they're having a conversation about the book. So these adults have grown up to become avid readers. That means they read for fun and they read a lot. Sometimes during a book club, they may talk about the characters in the book. They may talk about the setting. They'll definitely talk about parts they liked or parts they thought were blah or boring. So today I wanted to have our own little book club. And so behind me here are the different things I want to know about your favorite nonfiction book. So like I said, mine is icebergs. The first thing I want to know in your book club, I'll share that with you in a minute, is the title. And I can spell it correctly because it's right here. So this says title. I'll bring you closer for a second. And I just drew a little picture to help you read it. So I'll write icebergs. The next thing you're going to tell your book club is a part I liked or a part you liked. So as I was reading, I came across this picture here of these penguins, and the picture just made me smile. So I'm gonna quickly draw the penguins on the part I liked, and his little webbed feet. Cute, I did my best. The next thing you're going to share with your book club, a part you did not like. So I was going through the pages and I did come across a part I didn't like. Maybe it was near the back. Have any of you heard of the Titanic? The ship that sank in the middle of the ocean. So you can tell part of the ship here is underwater. I didn't like that. That's sad to me. So quickly again, I'm just gonna draw part of the ship underwater and part above. Maybe I'll have to look back. That was a part I did not like. The last thing you'll share with your book club is a part or a page that made you say, wow, because we know that's something avid nonfiction readers do. And I was really interested by this. This boat is pulling this huge iceberg, which I thought, that's so weird. What is it doing? So I had to read to find out. And it says, someday ships may tow large icebergs to hot places where there's not enough water. The melting iceberg would provide fresh water for people to drink and use in their houses. That's really creative. I had never thought of that. So again, I'll just draw, or you could write a sentence if you wanted. I'm just drawing. So I'm gonna draw the iceberg and then that big ship that was towing it. It had some strings tied to it, of course. That made me say wow. So I took some of Sam's stuffies to get ready for my book club. Since we're not at school together and we can't have the book clubs with each other, I thought we could just use a lovey or a stuffed animal. And when I started looking at all of his stuffies, he chews off all the ears and all the arms. So I couldn't find any that didn't have that, but that's okay. So I'm gonna set up my stuffies for my book club. And you could use one stuffy, you could use 10, as many as you wanted. And I have my paper here that we just did that shares the title, parts you liked, and the wow. So I'm just going to tell my lovies or my stuffies about my nonfiction book. So the title I read, it was called Icebergs, and the part I really liked was the page with the penguins, and the part I didn't like was when the Titanic was sinking underwater. And the part that made me say wow was when the boat was tugging the iceberg to a dry place, or how we could do that in the future. So at home, I want you to get your favorite book, answer these 4 questions, and have a book club with your favorite stuffies. Have fun with this.